Most losing traders don't lose because their analysis is wrong. They lose because their entry is wrong. Same setup, same chart, same idea. But the moment they click buy is the difference between a winner and a stopped out account. Today I'm showing you the exact entry framework I use on NQ, the one that took me years to figure out, so you don't have to guess anymore. Welcome back to From Zero to Funded in 30 Days. This is day 13, and today is where everything you've learned across the first 12 days finally starts snapping together into something you can actually execute live. Up until now, we've been building the toolbox: trend, candlesticks, support and resistance, time frames, market structure, volume, indicators, moving averages, VWAP, RSI, fair value gaps, and Fibonacci. 12 days of pieces. Today we start assembling them into complete repeatable entry setups that answer one specific question. At what exact price, on what exact signal do you click the button? By the end of this video, you're going to understand the 3 core entry types every professional day trader uses on NQ, when to use each one, and how to layer everything from the past 12 days into a checklist so specific that you either take the trade or you don't. No more guessing, no more chasing. Let me open with a hard truth. I've talked to hundreds of traders over the years, in my Discord, on streams, in the comments on this channel. And here's the pattern I see over and over. Their analysis is actually pretty good. They can spot a trend, they can identify support, they can call the direction. But somewhere between the analysis and the fill, they lose money. Why? Because entries are the single most emotional moment in trading. It's the exact instant where hope, fear, and greed all collide. You see the setup, you feel like you're about to miss the move, so you chase. Or you second guess yourself and enter 15 ticks late. Or you enter early before confirmation because your gut told you it was time. Then you get stopped out on the exact wick that would have shaken you out if you'd waited for the right signal. The professional traders you're competing with on NQ don't do that. They have a specific mechanical set of criteria that must all be true before they click. Their entries are boring. Their entries are patient. Their entries are, more than anything else, systematic. That's what today is about. Every entry you'll ever take on NQ falls into one of 3 categories, and understanding which one you're using is the first step toward getting them right. Type 1 is the breakout entry. This is where you're entering as price breaks through a level of significance, a prior high, a resistance zone, a consolidation range. You're betting that momentum continues in the direction of the break. Type 2 is the pullback entry. This is where a trend is already in motion. Price pulls back to a specific technical level, and you enter in the direction of the larger trend as price rejects that level and resumes. This is the entry type that lines up most naturally with everything we covered on day 12. Fibonacci retracements into the golden zone, tapping VWAP, filling a fair value gap. Type 3 is the reversal entry. This is the hardest and highest risk of the 3. You're identifying that a trend is exhausting and you're entering against it as it turns. Reversal entries can pay huge, but they get more traders in trouble than any other entry type in the market. If you're brand new, don't touch these yet. I'll tell you when. Every setup you'll see me take on stream is one of these 3. That's it. There is nothing else. Let's break each one down, starting with breakouts, because they're the most misunderstood. A breakout is not a candle poking through a level. That's a fake out 90% of the time. A real breakout, the kind I trade, has 3 components. Component 1, the level itself has to be significant. That means it's been tested multiple times, or it's a session high or low, or it's a prior day's high or low. If nobody else on NQ is watching that level, breaking it doesn't matter. Go back to day 3, real support and resistance zones, because those are the levels that produce clean breakouts. Component 2, you need a close beyond the level, not just a wick. A 1-minute candle that closes clearly above resistance or below support is your first confirmation. A wick that pokes through and pulls back inside is not a breakout. It's a liquidity grab, and if you enter on it, you're the exit liquidity for smarter traders. Component 3, volume needs to confirm. Go back to day 6, volume basics. A breakout on light volume is suspect. A breakout with a clear volume spike, meaning noticeably more contracts trading through that candle than the previous ones, tells you real participants are involved, not just noise. My personal rule on NQ breakouts. I want a close beyond the level on the 1 minute chart, a volume spike on that same candle, and price holding above the level for at least 1 to 2 candles afterward. If all three are true, I enter on the pullback to the broken level, not on the initial breakout candle. That last part matters. Chasing the breakout candle is where most retail traders get filled at the worst possible price. Pullback entries are my bread and butter, and if you're going to specialize in one entry type as a beginner, this is the one. Here's why. When you're taking a pullback entry, the trend has already proven itself. You've watched price move in one direction. You know the buyers or sellers are in control. All you're doing is waiting for a temporary pause, a healthy retracement, before joining the move that's already happening. You're not calling a top or a bottom. You're not fighting the market. You're following it at a better price. The mechanics look like this. Step 1. Identify the trend on your higher time frame. This is straight out of day 4. On NQ, I'm usually looking at the 15-minute chart to define the trend direction and the 1-minute chart to time the entry. Step 2. Wait for a pullback into a technical zone. This is where every tool from the past 12 days pays off. That pullback zone might be a Fibonacci golden zone from day 12. It might be VWAP from day 9. It might be a fair value gap from day 11. It might be a prior support flipped resistance level from day 3. The stronger the zone, meaning the more of these tools that overlap, the higher the probability the pullback holds. Step 3, and this is the one beginners skip. You wait for confirmation before you enter. You do not click the moment price touches the zone. You wait for a rejection candle from day 2, a long lower wick if you're looking to go long, an engulfing candle in your direction, a shift in the 1-minute market structure from day 5. Price tapping the zone is a reason to pay attention. Price rejecting the zone is a reason to enter. That distinction, pay attention versus enter, is what separates traders who make money on pullbacks from traders who get chopped up on them. Almost nobody talks about it that way, but it's the actual key to the entire framework. Now let's talk about reversals, because I want to be really honest with you here. Reversal entries are where I make some of my best trades on NQ. They're also where beginners blow up accounts. If you're within the first 90 days of your trading journey, my strong recommendation is to not take reversal entries at all. Not yet. You don't have enough reps identifying trend exhaustion to do this without hurting yourself. But when you're ready, here's how a real reversal setup looks. First, the trend has to be clearly exhausted. That means multiple failed pushes to new highs or new lows on the higher time frame. RSI divergence from day 10, where price makes a higher high, but RSI makes a lower high. Declining volume on the pushes, and often price stalling right into a major level, like a prior day's high or a heavy Fibonacci extension. Second, you need a structural break. Go back to day 5. If price has been making higher highs and higher lows, a reversal isn't confirmed until you see a lower high, followed by a break of the most recent low. Until that structure shifts, you're just guessing the top. And guessing the top on NQ is how prop firm accounts get burned in a single afternoon. Third, you enter on the retest of the break, not on the break itself. Price breaks structure. Price pulls back to retest that break as new resistance. That retest with a rejection candle is your entry. Same principle as breakouts. You're not chasing the initial move, you're waiting for the retest. If any one of those 3 components is missing, you don't have a reversal. You have a hunch, and hunches don't fund accounts. Here's the thing that's going to change how you trade, and I want you to write this down or screenshot it. Before I click buy or sell on any NQ trade, I run through a 5-point checklist. Every single point has to be a yes. If even one is a no, I pass and I wait for the next setup. Point 1. What's the higher time frame trend? Am I trading with it, against it, or in a chop? Trading with the trend is easy mode. Against it is expert mode. Chop is stay out mode. Point 2. What's the entry zone and what makes it significant? Not, it looks about right. Specifically, which of the tools from days 1 through 12 are aligning at this exact price? Ideally, I want at least 2 of them agreeing. 3 is better. 4 is a very high probability setup. Point 3. What's my confirmation signal? Have I actually seen a rejection candle, a structural shift, a volume signature, or am I anticipating? Anticipating is not a signal. Waiting is. Point 4. Where is my stop and what's my risk in dollars? Not somewhere below. Exact price, exact dollar amount. If I don't know both before I enter, I don't enter. Point 5. Where is my target and what's my reward to risk ratio? I need at least 2 to 1 on NQ setups, meaning if I'm risking $100, my first target has to pay at least $200. If the math doesn't work, the trade doesn't work, no matter how pretty the chart looks. 5 yes answers, I take the trade. Any single no, I don't. That checklist right there is the single most valuable thing I can hand you in this entire course, and I want to stay on that for a second because most people are going to blow past it. Almost no beginner uses a checklist. That's exactly why almost no beginner is profitable. The checklist isn't about the checklist, it's about the pause. It's about the 2 seconds you take between seeing a setup and clicking the mouse. 2 seconds where you force your brain to run through the criteria instead of just reacting. That pause is where discipline lives. It's where the version of you that made the trading plan finally gets to overrule the version of you that just wants action. Every professional I know trades some form of this checklist. Their 5 points might be different from mine, but every one of them is running through the same kind of mechanical filter every single time they enter. That's not a coincidence. That's the actual job. And here's the part almost nobody says out loud. I'll come back to it in a second, so hang on. The checklist isn't there to help you find more trades. It's there to help you skip more trades. That distinction is going to make more sense than anything else in this video by the time we close it out. Let me walk you through a real trade the way I take it live, running through the checklist in real time. NQ opens the session and rallies from 19,000 to 19,150. A clean 150-point impulsive move on the 15-minute chart. That's my trend. Uptrend on the higher time frame, so I'm looking for longs only. Point 1 checked. Price pulls back. I draw my Fibonacci retracement from day 12. Swing low at 19,000. Swing high at 19,150. My golden zone lands between 19,057 and 19,092. VWAP from day 9 is running through 19,075. And I can see a small fair value gap from day 11 sitting between 19,080 and 19,090. That's Fibonacci, VWAP, and a fair value gap all agreeing on roughly 19,080. 3 tools aligned. Point 2 checked. Price drifts into that zone. On the 1-minute chart, I get a clean rejection candle. A long lower wick at 19,082, closing back up strong. Volume on that candle is noticeably higher than the previous few. Confirmation. Point 3 checked. My entry, 19,085 on the close of that rejection candle. My stop, 19,072, just below the golden zone and the wick. That's 13 points of risk. On one MNQ contract, 13 points is $26. On one NQ contract, it's $260. I already know my risk before I click. Point 4 checked. My target, the 161.8% Fibonacci extension of the initial move, which lands at 19,200. From my 19,085 entry, that's 115 points of reward against 13 points of risk, almost 9 to 1 reward to risk. Point 5 checked. All 5 yeses. I take the trade. And this is exactly the kind of setup where, even if it loses, I don't regret it, because the process was right. The process being right is what compounds over hundreds of trades. Any one trade is noise. The process is the signal. Now back to the thing I asked you to hang on to. I told you the checklist isn't there to help you find more trades. It's there to help you skip more trades. Here's what I meant. The biggest edge you have as a retail trader over the pros is the option to do nothing. Institutions have to trade. They've got mandates, benchmarks, quarterly numbers to hit. You don't. You can sit on your hands for 2 hours, take one perfect setup, and walk away for the day. That option to opt out is your entire structural advantage, and the checklist is what protects it. Every no on the checklist saves you from a low probability trade you would have taken on emotion. Over a year, that's not 5 saved trades, it's hundreds. Hundreds of losses avoided, hundreds of commissions saved, hundreds of moments where you didn't hand your account to someone with more patience than you had. That, mathematically, is where the majority of your edge as a retail day trader actually comes from. Not from being right more often, but from participating less often in low quality setups. That is why I always come back to lose small or lose it all. The trades you don't take are just as important as the ones you do. The checklist is what makes that possible. Remember what I said at the very start of this video. Most losing traders don't lose because their analysis is wrong, they lose because their entry is wrong. Now you know exactly why, and now you have the framework to fix it. 3 entry types, 1 5-point checklist, and the discipline to skip anything that doesn't pass. Tomorrow, Day 14, we're going straight into exit strategies, because a great entry with a terrible exit is still a losing trade. We're going to cover exactly how to manage the trade once you're in it, when to take partials, when to move your stop, and when to walk away with what the market gave you. If this framework clicked for you, drop a comment telling me which of the 3 entry types, breakout, pullback, or reversal, you're going to focus on for the next 30 days. I want to see it. Hit subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in day 14. See you tomorrow for day 14.